Welcome to part 2 of our narcissistic alphabet series, y'all. The ABCs of narcissism. The previous video was A through F. Today, we're going G through L. Now, y'all, let me keep it. Y'all know I like to keep it hot and ready like a Little Caesar's pizza over here, right? Some of these letters was kind of hard. Y'all, look, think of how many words you know start with X. I had to reach a little bit. I had to do a little reaching. I'm serious. I had to do a little reaching. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Cause some of these. So let's get started on G, y'all. I'm not even lying to you. I had to do some reaching. G, got a few for G though. G, gaslighting. Gaslighting is getting someone to question their reality, just plain straightforward. It's a different form of manipulation. I know a lot of people will say gaslighting is just lying. No, gaslighting is not just lying. Lying is bad, right? But gaslighting is a deeper level. It's exponentially worse than lying, because gaslighting gets you to question your reality. Yes, can lies be a part of gaslighting? Yes, it absolutely is. It's bending the truth. It's making other things happen. It's moving things around. It's just telling bigger, worse lies that involve a lot of different systems as well, right? So gaslighting is a part of the cycle of narcissistic abuse, and a word that you might hear a lot when you're dealing with narcissists and toxic people. The next word I have for G is guilt tripping. Hey, babe, get in the car. Get in the car, loser. We're going on the guilt trip because you are. Narcissists are damn near almost always going to try to make you feel guilty for holding them accountable. They'll try to make you feel guilty about wanting to leave them for doing something for them, doing something horrible to you. Guilt tripping is real. They're going to make you feel guilty about wanting better for yourself, about wanting to leave them, about wanting to choose yourself, about wanting to be with somebody else finally after 25 years of being cheated on and beat up. They're going to guilt trip you. So you will hear the term guilt tripping a lot in the field of narcissism or the field of narcissistic abuse. You'll hear about that a lot, right? The next G, grandiose. You get the grandiose narcissist, right? A lot of narcissists are grandiose. They love the big stuff. They call it peacocking, right? They have to have the biggest and best of everything. Designer everything, designer spoons, designer forks, designer soy sauce, designer markers, designer teeth, designer headband, whatever it is, right? They try to have the biggest and best of everything because they have this grandiose sense. They want everybody to know who they are and know everything that they have going on. Not all narcissists are the same. Not every narcissist is going to be grandiose, but you get a lot. The last one I have for G is gray rocking. Gray rocking is a technique that a lot of people use when you have to deal with a narcissist, right? When you have to be around a narcissistic person, like y'all live together. Gray rocking is removing the emotional reaction, removing the emotional energy, right? Removing, like, doing all this emotional stuff. Like, it's removing the emotional stuff, not giving them the reactions that they seek. Because a lot of narcissists love your reactions, and we're gonna cover that later out. We're gonna cover that later. I promise you, we will hear the word. You will hear the word reactions again, y'all. So that's covering G. Did I miss any? Leave it in the comment section. H. Hoovering or hovering, right? H stands for hoovering or hovering. Hoovering, which most people refer to it as, hoovering is literally, y'all, hoovering is literally any unwanted contact after the relationship ends. It's when narcissists try to get you back in the relationship. It's when narcissistic people try to convince you to come back to them, right? It's literally, they try to get back in the relationship with you in some way, shape, or form. All narcissists could hoover. Not every narcissist does hoover, but all narcissists can hoover, right? Regardless of the relationship. It could be your mom, your dad, narcissistic dad could try to hoover you, right? Your narcissistic parents or whoever it is, your narcissistic friend could try to hoover you. Your old narcissistic boss at your old job can try to hoover you as well. So hoovering or hovering is going to be in the letter H, right? Not everybody gets hoovered. And whether you get hoovered or not is not a sign of your worth or value, y'all. So many people are like, well, Lee, I didn't get hoovered. Am I not worth anything? Y'all, no, that doesn't mean anything. Not all narcissists are going to hoover you. a quick H that just popped up. Hottiness. The appearance or quality of being arrogant, superior, or disdainful. You get a lot of narcissists that are haughty. They just think that they are better than you. Hottiness does cover a lot of narcissists. Hottiness, y'all, is Haughthiness, if you want to look that up. Hottiness. Hot. Not HOT. They're like, hotness? No, Lee, my narcissist look like an old kermuffin. I did not have a hot narcissist. Haughtiness, not hotness. Not hottiness, haughtiness. So we go hop to I. I was one a little tough, y'all. Insecure or insecurities. Narcissists want to make you feel insecure because we are insecure. We point out your insecurities because we hate our own insecurities about ourselves. You see how it goes. I point out the things about you that I hate about myself. We're going to cover that in P, but it's called projection, right? I hate the things about, if I hate something about myself, I'm going to point it out in you. I want to make you feel insecure because the more insecure you are, the less likely you are to leave me because you don't think anybody else is going to want you. You don't think you're going to find love again, right? So your insecurities, I love. I'm insecure. Most narcissists might appear to be haughtiness. You say they might appear to be haughty or they might have a big ego from last video, but we are truly insecure people. The next I is idealize. Idealization kind of goes in with the love bombing phase. Narcissists create this, like in the beginning of a relationship, narcissists think you are perfect. And we also want to appear perfect. So idealizing is us creating this perfect image of you and you creating this perfect image of us because this is what we present to you, right? So narcissists idealize you in the beginning of the relationship, and you also idealize the narcissist. And this goes into the love bombing phase. Idealization is not love bombing. It's part of the love bombing phase, right? We create this perfect image of you in our head. And once that perfect image gets shattered, then we go into the devaluation phase, which I mentioned earlier. You see how it all flows together? You see how it flows, doesn't it? Once the idealization phase ends, I call it fracturing, right? Once the idealization phase ends, I call it fracturing in my course at mentalhealness.net, right? You get started to get devalued and whatnot, y'all. And the last thing I have right here for I is injury, but it's narcissistic injury. You see how y'all see I had to stretch that right there? It's narcissistic injury. Like when you hurt a narcissist's feelings, and you crack their ego, you do something so bad to them that it cracks their ego, you could cause a narcissistic injury. And once you cause a narcissistic injury, you can lead to a narcissistic collapse, and then they coming for you, right? They can become very obsessive, and they can come for you. So watch out for those narcissistic injuries. That's going to clear I force. Now J. Again, I had to stretch right here, y'all. Jealousy. A lot of narcissists are envious or jealous of you, right? They might not appear to be. You might not know it, but they actually are. Narcissists can be jealous of you just because of how you were raised, y'all. They can be jealous of you because of how you grew up. They can be jealous of you because you had less than them growing up, but your life turned out better than them. They can be jealous of you because you have the ability to be happy and they don't. They can be jealous of you for any and every little thing, y'all. And that jealousy turns into something darker, and they can treat you horribly because of it, right? They can treat you horribly because they are absolutely jealous of you. And that's what goes on right there, y'all. Jealousy is a big part of the spectrum of narcissistic abuse. The next thing, y'all, I told you I had to stretch. So this is more than one word, but it's an acronym. It's called JADE. Jade is a technique. Jade is a technique that people use against narcissistic people, right? Jade technique stands for is JADE. When you're dealing with a narcissist, it says do not justify, argue, defend, or explain yourself in a high conflict situation. So when you're dealing with a narcissistic person, you don't have to justify yourself. You don't have to argue. You don't have to defend yourself every time. And you don't have to explain yourself to somebody who's not trying to listen to you. The Jade technique works to help you deal with abusive, manipulative people. It helps you de-escalate just unnecessary high conflict situations, right? That's what goes on right there. That's going to be it for J. Y'all, if y'all find some J's, drop the J's in the comment section. I don't have any, right? I was like, damn, what's J? K. I was even stretching for K, y'all. K was a stretch too. Y'all, the first K I got is kind. K-I-N-D. Because narcissists are going to pretend to be kind, y'all. And other people might describe the narcissist as kind. Even though they're treating you horribly behind the scenes, that narcissist could appear to be kind to everyone else. They build their reputation up with everyone else and treat you horribly treat you horribly behind the scenes. Everybody thinks that this narcissist is a good person. Everybody thinks that a narcissist is a kind, caring, compassionate person, right? But in all actuality, they are horrible people. They're awful people. They pretend to be kind. The next K I got right here, y'all, doesn't apply to every single narcissist, but this can happen. You can get a kleptomaniac narcissist, right? You can get a narcissist that's just obsessed with stealing from you, from stores, from everybody else, y'all. I ain't gonna go too much into it. Y'all know what kleptos are. And the last K I have, pardon me, y'all, but you get the narcissists that are kinky. You get the kinky narcissists. You get the narcissists that are into all the BDSM. Y'all, we don't kink shame here. They might kink shame you, right? But you get the narcissists that are into BDSM, into a lot of that type of stuff. They just get freaky, dirty, nasty in the bedroom. And the crazy thing about it is they can also be sex addicts. They can be ex-addicts. And they be out here cheating on you and doing a lot of things like that. I said addict cheating to the damn C, shouldn't I? Dang it. Oh, I could have added to the I for infidelities. You see how it's popping up now? Go back and add those. But yeah, their kinkiness can lead to them cheating and just losing their minds and being addicts and just stepping outside the relationship over and over again, y'all. And the last letter we're going to cover today, y'all, I said we're going from G to L. The last one we're going to cover today, y'all, is L. It is love bombing. Now, like I said earlier, love bombing is part of the idealization phase of a narcissistic relationship. Now, not everybody who love bombs is a narcissist, but most narcissists do love bomb you. Love bombing is when they just overwhelm you with stuff, y'all. They overwhelm you with kindness, compassion, gifts, money, whatever they can give. It's not always going to be money. Sometimes they can love bomb you out with a big ass Dumbo sized listening ear. You be like, I've never been listened to like that before. Oh my goodness. I've never had somebody spend this much time with me. Oh my goodness. They can find other ways to love bomb you. That's why I'm just telling people, y'all. That's why I was like, if y'all want to understand the cycle of narcissistic abuse, y'all, please check out my course. It's called Understanding the 7 Stages of a Narcissistic Relationship. It is available at mentalhealness.net. You can check that out. But love bombing works, y'all. It just does. And love bombing just doesn't happen at the beginning of relationships with narcissists. It can happen throughout the relationship. I call it, when it happens throughout the relationship, I call it love pop. I call them love pops, right? They do love pops, little pops of love. It never goes back to the beginning. Love bombing, it was get so many people addicted to these toxic relationship dynamics, right? Because now you love this person. You feel like you love this person so much that you have to be around this person. You have to have this person. This person has to be, you have to be with them, right? And that's what goes on, y'all. Anyways, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. If I missed an L, like I said, I only had one for L. And there's y'all, I'm stretching here, but y'all gonna enjoy it. Y'all, these are entertaining. I hope y'all are entertained by these, y'all. I really appreciate every single one of y'all so much. I'm super thankful for y'all. Super grateful. If y'all have anybody, cause I've been doing it on Fiverr, anybody that does thumbnails for videos, let me know. I'm trying to get somebody to create my thumbnails, cause my thumbnails, I've just been doing myself for forever. Email me at info@mentalhealness.net. Let's talk about some thumbnails and maybe going back and doing some old thumbnails for me. We can just talk, y'all. We can talk about thumbnails. We can thumb it up, all right? Anyways, y'all, hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and I appreciate y'all. The next video is going to be M through S. Peace.